I want to talk to you about the synapse. The synapse is a point of interaction of two neurons, where two neurons come together and talk. Now here we have three neurons. We have Larry, we have Mo, and we have Curly. And you see Larry here has these other neurons, let's just number them, coming in and communicating with him. And Larry himself goes and communicates with Mo and Curly and others. So synapse, connection between neurons, is a point of interaction between two neurons. Whenever I draw a synapse in this class, it will look something like this. Again, information is always going to go left to right. The synapse has three parts: the presynaptic, the postsynaptic, and the cleft. The cleft is a space between neurons, because neurons come very close, but they don't actually touch. Okay, so the presynaptic side is the side that's going to release neurotransmitters. You know what this is. This is the axon terminal boutron. You know this from the previous video. What the postsynaptic side is differs, and that differentiates between 3 and then 4 different kinds of synapses that we have. So let's talk about those different kinds of synapses. One, we have the axodendritic. These are compound terms. The first part tells you what the presynaptic side is. It's always the axon terminal boutron. The second part tells you what the postsynaptic side is, the receiver. The sender is always the axon terminal boutron. The receiver, in this case, is a dendrite. Let me circle a ton of axodendritic synapses. All of these. See, axon, I didn't even know there was this fourth neuron here. The axon of neuron 4 comes and synapses there. This was 3 synapses. The ones I'm circling are axodendritic. All of these. From neuron 1, neuron 2 was here. These are the axodendritic synapses coming on to Larry. Note the ones I've ignored for now. Larry himself sends axodendritic synapses to Mo and Curly. For the remainder of the class, whenever I just say synapse, I'm talking about this one because it makes up 95+% of overall synapses. The second type of synapse is an axosomatic. Axon terminal boutron to a soma. Look right here. This neuron 3 is synapsing right on, I think that one counts too, right onto the soma of Larry. And neuron 2, similarly, right there. Third kind, axonic. These are a little bit confusing, so bear with me. Imagine there was a neuron 5 up there, and he was sending a synapse or an axon towards Larry. This axon would go sneak in here and synapse with Larry's axon. Okay, so this is neuron 5 synapsing with Larry's axon. So it's an axo-axonic. The fourth kind, the fourth kind is different from the rest. This is a gap junction. This is purely electrical. One to three, axodendritic, axosomatic, axonic are chemical synapses because they communicate via neurotransmitters. Those are chemicals. 4 being the gap junction, purely electrical. There's direct electrical current flow from one neuron to the other. Now, this is super fast, but simple. These are relatively slow, but complex. All right, we'll have more about synapses when as the class progresses.